Yeah, I think we can call the meeting to order at 4:01 PM on November 17th. And I will have Amir do roll call.
Donnie Smith.
Oh, you're
Here.
muted, Donna.
But
We
I
see
that you're
you.
here. Dick Delgado.
Yes, here.
Ashley Hicks.
Present. Hello, thank you.
Hello. JC Smith. I see you're online.
I are here.
Good deal. Justin Smith.
We see you too, Justin. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good.
Cat Stone. I'm here. And Tina Temple, which I don't see that she's on yet.
Yeah, I don't see Tina.
All right.
Good, had a good turnout.
Mhm.
All right, I guess we'll start by doing the Pledge of Allegiance. Dick, do you want to lead us or?
Sure.
Okay.
I can remember this.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right, so let me get it. It's so.
Okay, can you guys see the agenda online? Okay. Donna, you're the board chair. Do you want to go through the agenda or do you want one of us? One of us. Oh, we can't hear her. Oh. I think you're muted, Donna. Oh. Okay, we can't hear Donna, so I can go ahead and we can go through the agenda. Let's see. Do you see a thing popping up?
There we go.
There you
Is
are.
it
There you go.
There you are.
okay?
We're at number 4, the consent agenda.
Yeah, it's freezing me on here. There we go. I think I've got it. Oh, I should have asked Ashley how to do this. She's really good at this. Okay. So basically what we're doing is drafting the minutes from the meeting that was held on what was it? The last meeting that we had, when was that?
December 4th. So those meeting minutes are attached, so we just need to take a vote, if everybody has had a chance to look at them and if there's no changes. To take it to a vote to accept them.
Okay, I don't think there's any changes, right, Ashley?
Has everybody had a chance to read over them? Kind of,
Well, yeah,
okay.
just haven't seen them.
Yeah, I did.
Can I move to approve then as submitted?
Okay, Dick has made a motion to accept the minutes. Do we have a second?
I second.
Who was that?
So that's honest.
Mhm.
All
My
in favor?
computer's frozen up, so I can't get into the next page.
Okay, well, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any? Ashley, are you?
Yes, aye.
JC is an aye as well. Don't hear any nays.
He's sitting in his truck in front of a chiropractor's office.
Oh, no.
But he's muted.
And I can't vote because I was absent.
Okay, so we have 5 then?
Neither can Tina.
We have another one. Aye.
Okay,
Because they were absent.
oh, okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, we have 4 yes?
5.
Ashley and Pat cannot vote because they were not at the meeting, so we would have 2 abstaining, right?
I think Ashley might have been there, but it says that Roy, Tina, and Justin were also absent. And you can't vote on
Yeah.
approving the minutes if you weren't
Yeah,
there.
and this shows Ashley was there.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ashley was there. Let's see. Yeah, there it is, okay. Different, oh, so Natasha's not on the stiff stack anymore because she's now a board member.
Oh,
So, it would be Dick, JC, Donis, and Ashley can vote. And everybody, I believe, said yes.
Yes.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 yeses and 2 abstain, correct?
you said Dick, Donis, Ashley, and
Um,
JC.
Dick, JC, Donis, and Ashley.
And then 2 abstain.
And then I included just some ridership numbers, recent ridership numbers. It was just information only if STAC to have, since we haven't had one of these meetings for quite a while. So these are current ridership numbers with the recent reduction in services that we implemented in September.
Yeah, I'm
So
looking at
still-
that, I'm looking at that chart right now.
Yes, I believe she has it up on the screen. Oh,
Yep.
Oh, no. I think you gotta pick that one off.
Yes, I don't see anyone else.
Oh, there it is, you're down there.
So that's number 5, right? The review ridership for fixed route and demand response.
Yes, it's just for review only. Hold on, we're having a mouse issue. Sorry. There it is, okay.
Then number 6 is the financial statement.
Yeah, so
Six
number
point-
6 is also, it's just for information only. This is also the financial report that will be presented to the board tonight for their approval, so, oh, there's JC.
So that's under the 6.1 October 2025 financial report, am I correct?
Yes, and that's just information only as well.
Okay.
Can I go back, or can we go back to the ridership, just case I don't
Okay.
pay attention to stuff
That's
much.
okay, Dick has a question about ridership, so.
So I guess the question is, what's going on? I mean, this is terrible.
So we had a reduction in services back in August where we had to we reduced some. Cut back the red line, green line a little bit by their hours. We eliminated the South County route. Altogether because of the financial constraints that we're facing right now with the federal funding.
It's interesting that the South County route, though, when it was operating, had more people than the Winston and Sutherland combined.
They do, but.
Yep.
it
Justin, do you
wasn't-
want to bring up what happened when you've been trying to go down to the Chevron gas station by Kelly's Corners and what's been happening? Half the time the bus drivers don't show up or they show up an hour and a half late.
Yeah, last time I did that, I had to wait around like around 1 o'clock when it showed up, but it never show up after all when it went to 1:44. So then I'd wait to take the bus again to see if it does show up. The last time I took the bus last week, it was like around 11:45.
And did the bus show up?
Yeah, it did show up.
Finally,
Okay, but you said you.
But from what I'm understanding, we've had to put him in the car and drive him into town because sometimes the bus didn't show up at all, or it showed up for over an hour late. One day he sat there for till 1 something waiting for the bus that was supposed to be there at 11:45.
We'll have to do some research and find out if something happened or, but yeah, I don't know, Donis, but thank you for letting me know, Justin. So I can take a look at that and we'll get back to you, okay?
Okay.
I guess related question. So if somebody's waiting at a bus stop and the bus isn't coming, is there a number they should call in to check or?
They can call into the number, that's listed, I think it's on our website. It is, there's a number on the website that they can call. That number usually comes here to Cindy, and Cindy has a radio she can dispatch to the driver to find out where they are.
Yeah,
And if
good.
they have already gone by, or if they're
Yeah.
running late
Is- I
for
mean,
some
I would
reason.
hate to see somebody just. Think,
Yeah, Justin, you can call the office here, Cindy can find out where the bus is. And she can let you
Okay.
know.
Is there a
Alright.
chance that they're changing them because some of my more compos mentis people are saying that they're running every 2 hours instead of every hour, or maybe every 3 hours instead of every 1 hour?
So the new schedule should be on the website, and those should be the hours that they're running.
Okay,
So I don't know if they're looking at an old bus schedule or a new one. But tell them to go to our website, because our website has the most up-to-date, schedules on it. So to answer your question, Dick, the South County, because it goes all the way down to Canyonville, it has the most mileage on it.
Oh,
So in order to, stay within our
yeah, okay.
financial
Got it.
constraints, we
Yeah.
had to eliminate.
Huh.
Yeah, the South County.
Yeah, no, it makes more sense. It's
Yeah.
really too bad, but yeah,
I know, well, we're hoping it'll be temporary, but
yeah.
we'll have to see how things go.
Okay, are we
Thank
done
you.
with number 6?
Can I
actually.
Can I piggyback off of Dick's question in regards to the decline in ridership? Is there a recovery plan or anything, any projections or anything that we should be aware of?
So after January, we should have some information, on a federal level, what to expect. So at that point in time, yes, we will probably start having some conversations. But we just don't know what that looks like, and I know that they passed the transportation packet, but, if it goes to what the referendum, then it's gonna go to a vote for the people. And those funds will not start coming in until after
the vote
the vote next year.
in the
November.
election in November.
Mhm. So right now, they're saying if the referendum doesn't go through, then those taxes will start being collected in January, but the earliest we would see anything would be July. So that's best case scenario right now. And that's on the state funding side, that's not the federal funding, so
Right,
the federal funding is being delayed as well. So it's a tough time for,
there's our recovery plan.
tough time
Hooray.
for transportation all
Hooray.
around. In the entire state, it's not
Yes.
just UP's
Yeah.
problem.
That's right. And other states too.
Yes, yeah, it's across the country, it's not just Oregon, so. Any more questions on the ridership?
No?
Nope.
And then, like I said, the financial statement's just in there, that's gonna be presented to the board tonight, for their review and approval, acceptance. So that was just information for you. The reason why we are here is the coordinated transportation plan. Maybe Jennifer can speak to it a little bit better than I can, and then you guys will understand it thoroughly.
So, there is a document that is required for several funding. It's called the Coordinated Health and Human Services Transportation Plan. And that's a mouthful, but we call it affectionately the Coordinated Plan. And so the Coordinated Plan is a typically a short-term planning document that agencies use to determine what projects they're going to put into their upcoming grant application. Specifically, 5310 on the federal side requires it, and then STIF does require some sort of a plan. Some agencies have transportation plans, which you guys have a transit master plan. But the coordinated plan really digs into the transportation for individuals that are older and with disabilities. And so that provides a kind of a template of, here are the projects that we want to work on over the next 5 years or so for the coordinated plan and for those grant funds. So it really informs what projects you're going to be doing. You did do a coordinated plan in 2022. However, there were several things that were not included, specifically the maintenance of current services, which is pretty vital, is keeping those current services at the level that you need them. So this addendum is hoping to provide more clarity on some of the projects that you have listed and ensuring that you have those ones that are going to maintain the service at the level that you currently have it at. Listed in that plan. So it's basically just going to be an addendum to the current plan.
And I believe they approved our STIF plan this year. But they told us that this addendum needs to be adopted before the next STIF plan cycle, or we might not be able to include the projects that we currently have for maintaining.
So the
service.
purpose of this is to basically incorporate those updates and changes as well as the clarifications that we need to actually be able to move forward, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So I drafted up an addendum, which you all received. I had Jennifer take a look at it before this meeting. And so those, let's go back up a little bit. Those items in red right there where it says preservation of existing systems and routes and
Yes.
preservation of capital equipment. That's the language that needs to be added. And go back up a little bit.
Is that 180,000 the standard, or is that a little bit more than what it would actually cost?
No, that's pretty standard.
Okay.
So right now, the addendum applies to the following sections of the coordinated transportation plan. The proposed service and capital improvements under that section, it would add or modify service priorities. So we're adding the preservation of existing system and routes. And then there's a B, and C, preservation of general trip purpose transportation services to include administration, preservation of demand response transportation services, and then mobility management projects to include ride scheduling, trip sharing, and call center. And then adding preservation of capital equipment. A is preventative maintenance funding, and then B is adherence to capital replacement schedules. So that's the language that this addendum would be adding to the coordinated transportation plan, to the current one. Generally, we have an outside vendor that helps with create these coordinated plans. And they are very expensive. So Jennifer recommended that we just do an addendum to the existing plan until we have the funding to go back and do an actual update to the coordinator health.
So it doesn't actually change what we are doing or would do, it just puts it inwards.
It just adds this language for the preservation of existing services.
I'd like to make a motion that we do that.
It wasn't very clear in the current plan. And like Sherry said, they're very expensive. You usually hire a planning company or a consultant firm. They typically charge about $75,000 to $100,000 per plan. So if there's any way, this is a way to kind of make the clarity that you need to ensure that you have those projects without having to spend the 100,000. And then the state is looking at possibility of, some of the technical resource funding that we get for the STIF to be utilized to help agencies like you all who are smaller to help you get your plans. So that's something that we are working on, because these are, they're limited duration plans, typically 3 to 5 years. However, a lot of the projects don't always, you don't get to the end of the projects within 3 to 5 years. So it's just a really expensive, requirement.
Do you want to go down just a little bit? I don't know that we have, so I just added that to the table. So this table was something that was already in our coordinated transportation plan. And I just added those two things at the top for the preservation of existing services and capital equipment. And then so that, and then the effective date would be well, we would take this to the board, correct, today? Can you take it today or not today?
I would say no, because you would want to have a period of time for people to have input,
Okay.
because it does have to have public input.
Okay.
The one thing though that I wondered about after looking at it was, would you put in, did you have stuff in there for like your accounting software? Cause that would be something that you would also utilize for both services. So you might possibly want to include that, but
Okay, well, that would be something that we could add. I mean, this was just,
Yeah.
we could amend the addendum to add,
that's just an idea, but I don't know if you wanted to put that
Right.
into this type of funding, so.
okay.
Can you explain something to me? I don't understand the Cottage Grove or the Wolf Creek lifelines.
So these were plans that were originally built into our coordinated transportation plan a few years back with some public input. And these were all items that were on like the wish list.
They're
basically.
actually a requirement that we connect to outside transit areas, and we've never reached out to, say, Bend or those kind of places. So all we had to meet the requirements was reaching and connecting to Lane County through Cottage Grove and to Josephine County through Wolf Creek.
Not Coos County, because it seems like I used to see a van
Well,
coming.
they have a van, but it doesn't really like connect to us. It goes, I think it just does the VA, doesn't it? Yeah,
It's funding that is VA funded.
yeah. So it would be wonderful if we had like some sort of connection that
However,
came in
Yeah.
through
and
Camas
these-
Valley.
These type of things where it says implement the Roseburg Reedsport Lifeline Service, implement the Roseburg Cottage Grove. One of the things, we do have an agency that got funding, and he's actually from Bend, it's Pacific Crest Bus Lines, and he's going to start. I just found out today, in March of 26, he's providing a route that goes from Medford to Cottage Grove.
That's so
From
exciting.
Medford to Eugene, I think is what it actually is gonna go. So this is something where it says implement the Roseburg to Cottage Grove Lifeline service. This is where you all would tie in, where you can do the local connectors and get it into the Pacific Crest. So those are the things that where Sherry and her group are gonna be, they would be looking at these kind of things. So as long as they're in there and they say that, you have opportunity with these other agencies that are providing service to try to connect with them.
That's one of the really exciting things about the big plan, the big picture originally.
And Scott, with Josephine Community Transit in Grants Pass, is actually, he got funding to do an Interstate 5 planning project, and so he is in the process. He got a consultant already on board. They're gonna be doing that, so he's gonna be looking at the Medford to Eugene section for that planning.
Now, if we
project.
only had somebody really genius that could do one from Bend to Reedsport and Coos Bay, connecting the east and the west part of Douglas County.
That would be awesome.
That'd be good.
Right, I'd like to clarify. First of all, I would like to ask who was speaking just a moment ago. My screen's pretty small, so I didn't recognize who was delivering the presentation.
Not my annoying voice.
So Kat Stone was just
No,
speaking. and
not you,
Jennifer-
Pat.
Oh,
Before you started speaking.
Jennifer Boardman with ODOT.
Oh, okay. Normally I hear you on the computer, I think, and so you're there in person today.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay, board
it's
member.
amazing.
I came special for this meeting.
Okay, I didn't realize that. I would have, yeah, okay, so I didn't realize that. Thank you for pointing that out. You sound different on the different.
I have a poll.
She looks different too.
Okay. Well, thank you for being here tonight. And on the other part of this, just to kind of clarify, are we, this amendment, is it just basically just codifying basically the agreements that we had already made at our last year's meetings with what is going on with the board now and their forecasts on which parts of these they want to see maintain their existing services? Or am
Well, they,
I off somewhere on this?
I think they
Well, they-
just want us to say it in a certain way.
okay.
Yes, this is really, it provides a framework for the board. So these projects, unless you have these projects listed in your coordinated plan, you're not able to put them on a grant application. So this is kind of like the framework. So I can take any of these projects within this plan and make a project for it within my grant application. If it's not listed on this plan, then you could not put it in as a project within your grant application. So it doesn't really, I mean, the board, yes, they make a decision based on your recommendation on what projects you should do. But they have to come from a plan, so they have to come from your coordinated plan.
So
Would these
everything that's-
projects be for 2026, 27?
So this is a 5-year plan, so it started in 2022, so it would basically go through. Technically, you should update your plan around 2027. So one of the things that you'll have to start doing is saving some funding to get that going, and then hire a consultant and try to get that completed before the 2027. Which it's good, you'll have already had your grant funds and they go 27, 29 for the next cycle, so. You'll have some time to get a new coordinated plan in place before the 29, 32 or.
Yeah.
Half of us will be dead.
Yeah.
So are we just basically trying to amend what we had already approved to align with the reductions that the board has made?
No, this doesn't really encompass that. Basically, what you're trying to do is. Your coordinated plan didn't have a specific line item that said it could maintain the service as it currently runs. So, and that's broad, so your service used to be bigger, you kind of shrunk it down, but you could expand it. It's just maintaining your service at whatever level it currently is at. That wasn't specified very clearly within your coordinated plan. And so that's why this process is going in so that when we get ready, because you guys are gonna have to be on board here pretty soon to start doing the 27, 29 STIF plans and the 27, 29 federal grants. And those grants are going to be, you're gonna be looking at your coordinated plan and saying, okay, these projects are in our coordinated plan, we wanna put them in our grant. One of the things that was missing specifically that our eligibility folks said, yeah, they kind of mention maintenance of service, but they don't really mention it very well, so we'll let it slide this time, but you gotta have it put into the new into a coordinated plan in order to get funding for the next cycle.
So when
this
they have,
creates-
when the main board, excuse me, when the main board meets this evening or whatever, they're gonna be probably going over what the last audit was. And then if those of us on the STIF committee have some idea what the positive and the not so positive that went on with the audit, will that also be able to help us with this as well?
No, this is just basically a plan that the agency can use in order to ensure it's a plan that you, as the representatives of the public, are creating in order for, the folks that do the grants to be able to have projects to pull from. So if you
understand.
want to do a spaceship to Mars, but you didn't have it listed in your coordinated plan, that spaceship to Mars is out of there. You can't do that project.
Okay, so specifically in regards to the app idea that we were talking about, which touches on what Justin was talking about in regards to arrivals and, you know, where exactly is the bus? You know, maybe you could try to move in a destination closer to where the bus is going to arrive, so it meets your schedule. If there,
Yeah,
the
and
app
it's
in
actually
regards.
in here. Yeah,
That
Okay, so
is
the
in
app
here
is
where it
still
says-
included in the funding, and that's not going to change regardless of our amendment tonight. And, okay, I
yeah,
understand.
this isn't gonna amend your current grants the way that they are. This is gonna provide the framework in order to do your next set of grants. So
Okay,
it's not
now-
changing anything about your grants, just providing that list of everything
Okay.
that you can do for the next grant
I
cycle.
understand that. Now,
Yeah.
in regards to the shelter structures, the shelters, we're coming up on the end of the year here. It's rainy season. People are gonna be waiting long times out in the inclement weather, frigid temperatures, so on and so forth. Where are we at with the structures in regards to those maintained service routes and having the structures for the people that are, you know, waiting there? Sometimes, like we've heard tonight, an hour or more for the bus to arrive. Does that need to be included before this amendment is made, or is there something that we should consider tonight to, you know, draw awareness to that? that
That's already in the plan as well, Ashley, the bus stop improvements. So it's already in here. We haven't had the funding to work on them. We're just maintaining what we have at this point, and keeping them clean and, repaired. But until some additional funding comes in, we're not doing any special projects. We're just trying to maintain services.
So that's the thing, Ashley, is it doesn't change anything that we've done or we're gonna do. It doesn't affect anything. It just points out that the grass is green. And you didn't say that in your original plan, so we
Okay.
have to say it just this way, and it doesn't
Yeah.
affect
The
anything.
original
Okay.
plan did not specify preserving existing routes or preserving existing capital equipment. And that's the language they want to see in order to be able to, on the next STIF
Yeah.
plan cycle, to use any of that funding for maintaining.
It's just the wording. It doesn't change
Or to
anything.
bypass, yeah.
I understand that, and I appreciate the, you know, the clarification, and I just want to just understand it completely
Mhm.
before voting, that's all. I don't mean to
Yeah.
take up extra time.
No, that's great. Good to ask questions, because there's probably somebody else that has the same question.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, thank you, guys, thank you.
So basically what I'm hearing, until we get some additional money from wherever, we're not gonna be able to build some inclement weather structures like those little plastic glass enclosures with the bench, like out in the green area or on the side of where Kelly's Corner. When we get some additional monies, those could be two of the places where many of our senior citizens would get on the buses. We'd be able to put those in. But for right now, those are not projects that we can put under here in the language.
No, we gotta write a grant.
It's already language that's in our current,
And
it has
this will
bus
help.
stop improvements already in there,
Just
so.
money.
If we just need the money, yeah.
So we just have to write grants for those things. We just have to get a good grant writer. Somebody with a passion.
Yeah.
And then
And the
have the
grants have to
match.
come in.
Yeah, yeah, and we have to have the match. I always forget about that.
Depends on the grant.
Oh, I think we have a printing press somewhere.
No, I bet you some of that stuff could be funded.
Well, this is where
There's-
you have great opportunity
We can
to
talk.
start talking to the cities,
Mhm.
because a lot of the transit agencies actually contract with the cities to do the maintenance. So then they can offset that as in-kind match and things like that. And that's something that, I've talked to Terry about and Andre, and it's just a matter of getting out there And start talking to the folks. And a lot of people, you know, the cities don't have a ton of money, but if we start kind of pooling things and start really talking about creative ways to make things happen, we can really do some amazing things.
So
We
in
do
those
have
areas
some-
that are unincorporated, like the Kelly's Corner area, we would maybe have to go to the county commissioners to see if they, when they're giving out their grant money to all these veterans organizations, maybe they could consider having some set aside for those people that are bus ridership in the unincorporated areas that are south of the fairgrounds.
Mhm.
You might ask the cities too, because the county isn't gonna do a damn thing. So you just ask the cities if they want to make the connection. I mean, Winston is real active at doing things, and Roseburg, you know, they certainly talk a lot. Sutherland talks and they produce things. So I think we have to think outside the box for the unincorporated areas. Because I don't expect them to do anything unless it's with the Chamber of Commerce, something like that. They're not gonna do anything for us in the unincorporated areas. We just don't have that kind of money to attract their attention. Or organization.
Okay,
Sorry to be so dismal, but I'd like to make a motion that we adopt the addendum and pray.
Second to that.
Who was the second, Ashley?
Yes.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
I,
I
I,
heard four. One more, oh, I don't see JC, I think we maybe lost JC.
No, there he
Oh,
is.
there he is, okay. It might just be easier if anybody is a nay, to say nay.
Are there any
If
names?
there's any nays or a thumbs down. Okay. So then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, yes.
And just a little kind of calendar idea for you guys, when you're looking at your meetings. So you will have meetings coming up, so our funding, the federal funding is supposed to open in March and then close in June. So you guys are gonna have to meet sometime in the spring, you know, late winter, early spring. And then for the STIF funding, that funding is gonna open in early August. And so probably sometime around summertime or early fall is when you guys will meet for that one. And then look at that, you'll have your 2 meetings in that you're required to have, so. So that's kind of the timeline on when the next grants are gonna be coming around for you all to do for the 27-29 cycle. Can't believe that it's already here, but it's gonna be here before we know it.
Yes. Do we have any more discussion on the coordinated transportation plan? None? We can move on to public comment. I don't know that we have any public here. I got this. The news. Okay,
Oh, is that who he is?
yeah. So no public comment. Do we have any not on agenda?
I guess I have to wait that for the public comment at the end of the executive meeting. Right?
Oh, for the board
Just the
meeting,
regular
yes.
board.
Yeah,
Yeah. You know what my question is gonna be.
so if we have no not on agenda, then I guess we can go to adjourning the meeting. It is 4:40 PM. We can adjourn the meeting.
I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.